shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright, and I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. We shine, we shine, we shine, we shine, we
Welcome to the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living. Nestled between the Inner Harbor in Baltimore and the National Harbor just south of the nation's capital, the suburban city of Columbia offers easy access to both, where you find no shortage of activities, entertainment, and sightseeing. With a population of approximately 104,000 inhabitants, this thriving, diverse, planned community, developed by James Rouse, was established in 1967 with the goal of enhancing the lives of its residents. Columbia boasts good schools, fine restaurants, private homes, condos, and apartments, hiking trails, music venues, malls, and local shops. Founded in 1983, the Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, also known as CCSL, currently conducts services at the Hawthorne Center in Columbia and has done so since December 1984. Who are we, and who are we looking for? We are a collaborative, supportive, loving, and fun-loving community welcoming all who join us. We take pride in the programs we offer and the events we hold. One of our greatest needs now is to rebuild our community into a thriving spiritual home that realizes our full potential. We know that the perfect minister is awaiting our call. Our new minister is creative, collaborative, welcoming, enthusiastic, embodies inclusivity, fosters open and healthy dialogue, embraces and empowers shared leadership, and is committed to pastoral care. Our aspirations are growing our presence in the community at large, as well as within CSL, developing a broader equity and inclusion focus, increasing volunteerism, rebuilding thriving youth and teen programs, creating a community abundant in membership and resources. We also are committed to continuing and enhancing existing programs, such as the Women's Group, the Bookstore, SOM Magazine Group, SOM accredited classes, workshop offerings, free or low-cost foundation classes, and our annual volunteer event, Thanksgivingness.
Good morning and Merry Christmas to everyone. Welcome to our Sunday celebration on this frigid morning here in Maryland. May the warmth and joy of the holiday warm your hearts. My name is Julia Mattis, and I am the president of the Board of Trustees and a volunteer here at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, and today I am your presider. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. And for those of you joining us on Facebook, welcome, and we would greatly appreciate it if you would share this live stream to bring more of us together in the energy and celebration of spirit on this beautiful Christmas morning. I'll pause for you to do that now, so all you have to do is hit that little share button. I just did that on my phone, so easy peasy, send it off into the ethers. Our vision is to contribute to a world that works for everyone. We are a diverse community of belonging and growth, sharing the light and joy within ourselves while learning to see it in others. Our work here in Columbia at CSL is to illuminate the spiritual truth that we all belong to each other, and that calls for us to be inclusive, to celebrate and embrace our unique identities, ability status, age, ethnicity, gender identity, national origin, physical characteristics, race, religion, and sexual orientation. And I now invite you to take a deep breath and to set an intention for this week. Allow yourself to sink into that feeling of that intention right now and open to receive Spirit's guidance throughout our time together today and this week. And for those of you on Facebook, please feel free to share your intention chat, and we're happy to keep you in our thoughts and prayers throughout the week. We have a saying here at Columbia Center for Spiritual Living: singing or listening to music is like praying twice. So we begin each service with a song, and this week we are so blessed, so excited to have our very own Jamie Hudson Craig. Jamie brings her original style of music and spirituality from a place of pure joy and enthusiasm. Please help me welcome Jamie Hudson Craig.
Good morning, Columbia CSL. I am Jamie Hudson Craig, the musical director here, and I am also a guest artist in our lovely fellowship and at other fellowships around the country. And I am thrilled to be sharing this special day with you and some very special songs. This first song is called Winter Snow, written by Chris Tomlin. And I know a lot of people were wishing for a white Christmas. And this song is about another wish for a miracle, for a very special gift long ago. Could have come like a mighty storm, with all the strength of a hurricane. You could have come like a forest fire, with the power of heaven in your flame. But you came like a winter snow, quiet and soft and slow, falling from the sky in the night to the earth below. Could have swept in like a tidal wave, or an ocean to ravish our hearts. You could have come in like a roaring flood to wipe away the things we've scarred. But you came like a winter snow. Yes, you did. Quiet, you were soft and slow, falling from the sky in the night to the earth below. Oh, no, your voice wasn't in a bush burning, no. Your voice wasn't in a rushing wind. It was still, it was small, it was hidden. Oh, you came like a winter snow, quiet and soft and slow, falling from the sky in the night to the earth below. In the night, yeah, you were falling from the sky in the night to the earth below.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Jamie, for that amazing, amazing musical gift this morning. What a beautiful way to start out our service. And if this is your first time experiencing Columbia Center for Spiritual Living, we welcome you and thank you so much for joining us today, especially on this beautiful Christmas morning. We want you to know that no matter who you are or what your spiritual path might be, you are welcome here. There are a variety of ways to connect with us and to engage with our community. I invite you to continue watching our announcement roll at the end of this broadcast, at the end of service, where you'll find updates on all of our classes and all the exciting things that we have going on. But in the meantime, links to all of our events can be found on our newly designed interactive website calendar at columbiacsl.com/events, or you can always send an email to us at info@columbiacsl.com for more information. And now, let us consciously engage in spiritual practice together, which is what you came for today, right? I invite you to settle in, center yourself in this moment, and find that sacred place within where spirit is all there is. We will have a contemplative reading by the amazing B. Eamon James, followed by a guided meditation and affirmative prayer by our wonderful Ops Manager and Licensed Practitioner, Reggie Kapp. B. Eamon?
Good morning. and Merry Christmas to all. Today's reading is from the Science of Mind magazine daily guide for December 21, 2022, and it's by Reverend Karen Wilson, and it's called The Gift. We begin with a quote from U2's A Song for Someone. If there is a light you can't always see, there is a light. Don't let it go out. We follow with a quote from our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, in his book, This Thing Called Life, in which he said, "Good alone goes from me, and good alone returns to me." Reverend Wilson writes, "A few weeks before Christmas, when I was the tender age of 22, my live-in boyfriend walked out, leaving me heartbroken and dealing with his belongings while he traveled to Mexico with another woman. As I packed up the apartment I could no longer afford, I carried a box to the back alley dumpster. A man was there, sifting through the rubbish, and I gently set the box on the stoop next to him and said, 'If there's anything in here that's useful, feel free.' When I returned with my next load, he looked up at me. 'Mind if I take these?' In his hands was an old stamp collection. 'My daughter collects stamps,' he said, 'and I'd like to give them to her.' 'Of course, feel free.' And I returned to my task, contemplating this man and his life. What it must be like to be rummaging through these dumpsters for a Christmas gift. Did they live together? Was he unsheltered or simply poor? With still more to dispose of, I returned. This time his eyes were bright when he looked at me. 'Thank you,' he said. 'I'd like you to have this in return.' And he handed me a Chinese coin with a square in the middle. Astonished, I thanked him profusely. Two hearts in despair had made good together somehow amidst a harsh winter. It's been 40 years since that interaction. I never saw that man again, but the coin he gave me still sits in my treasure box. We all have something to give and to receive. Walk slowly and carry a big heart. Please join me in today's affirmation. Today, I see the world as an ever unfolding gift. Namaste.
Namaste. What a gift that reading was. Thank you so much. So as we contemplate that affirmation, today I see the world as an ever unfolding gift. Just take this moment to sink into your heart space. Allow that affirmation to sink in as well. Just relax your body temple. Open your mind to a greater understanding of what spirit is, of what the gifts of the universe are, of our own gifts. Feel your feet and your legs relaxing. Relax your hips and torso. Relax your shoulders with a nice big deep breath. We are the gifts of the universe. And we are open to receive other gifts. The gift of a smile, the gift of a warm embrace, a gift of a kind word. These are things that we can give and receive. So let's just open ourselves to that. I know that what I give is enough. I am enough. Allow all the cells of our bodies to resonate with this truth. We are a divine gift unto this world. And we are open to receive the gifts of others. How good it is to be right here, right now, in this sacred space, in conscious communion with this beautiful community. Please know with me that there is only one, a power that is ever expanding, ever becoming more of itself. It is all good. It is all powerful. It is all love. And I know that it is operating and having its life and its being by means of each one of us. We are that which this divine essence is. I call it God. I call it love. I call it spirit. And what I know is that it is exactly what we are. It is exactly what we need. It is our source, and it is the substance of all. And so we are connected by this power, as this power, through this power of love, this power of light, this power of truth. I recognize this and I embrace it. And I know that we are so connected that we could never be apart. We are individualized expressions of this one. And so together, we are the gift to the world. Together, we are creating a world that works for everyone. How good it is to know this truth, to speak this word, knowing that as I speak it with faith and conviction, it is the word of truth. And so I simply give great thanks for all of it, for this community, for everyone here within the sound of my voice, for every gift that I receive, I give thanks. For every gift that I bestow upon someone else, I give thanks. And so in great joy and great gratitude, I simply let this word go. We allow it to be so, and so it is.
And so it is. Well, that had to have been one of the most powerful and amazing spiritual practices I've had on a Christmas day. That was just beautiful. Thank you, Eamon, and thank you, Reggie, for that beautiful, beautiful time of sacred spiritual practice. Just going to take that in for a minute. Whew, what a prayer. In this community, our practitioners and ministers are eager to know the truth with you and for you. Want some more of that? Please feel free to email your request for prayers, counseling, and support to prayer@columbiacsl.com, and we will hold your truth in prayer throughout the week. And now, please help me welcome and bring back our amazing guest artist this morning, Jamie Hudson Craig.
This next song is called Love Cover Me. It's written by Gary Lynn Floyd, and it's a beautiful gift and a beautiful prayer. As times unfolded me, it has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. mine. Love cover me, light any darkness. Love cover me, right every wrong. Help me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love cover me. Love cover me. Kindness wash over me. Make me a symphony. Play every note you can find. Make me reverberate, gently de-escalate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance, and let my anthem be. Love cover me, light any darkness. Love cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love cover me. Love, 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 love. Love, I invite you to open up this heart of mine. Love cover me, light any darkness. Love cover me, right every wrong. Guide me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be gentle and strong. Love cover me. Oh yeah. Love cover me. Love cover me.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a powerful combination there. Music by Gary Lynn Floyd and vocals and piano by the amazing Jamie. We are so blessed and so lucky with all the talent that we have in our community. And thank you for sharing that with us. And now, finishing up this month's theme of community, the blessed community, it's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker. Eugene Holden is a master practitioner, teacher, counselor, and regular contributor to the Science of Mind magazine, and of course a regular contributor and speaker in our community. And so now I bring on Eugene with his talk entitled Opening the Gifts of Community. Eugene?
Good morning. Merry Christmas. Thank you, Julia. Merry Christmas, Centers for Spiritual Living, Columbia. Jamie, thank you so very much for that song. Gary Lynn Floyd is one of my good friends, and his music touches the heart. So that's a plug, not even shameless plug, for both Jamie and Gary. Reggie, thank you for that prayer, for that practice. Sets the tone. My brother B. Amon, your presence is always appreciated. And then, of course, Miss Julia. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. So Merry Christmas, everyone. And so it is my honor, it's my pleasure, it's my blessing to be here with you this morning to give this Christmas message. So here we are, Christmas. You know, Christmas is a celebration of the birth of Yeshua Messiah, Yeshua ben Joseph, Yeshua ben Miriam, Jesus the Christ, excuse me, Jesus the son of Joseph, Jesus the son of Mary. And Christmas that happens every year, right, is a holiday that is celebrated in the Christian religion, right? And I want to point out that it is big business. It's big business. Just like Easter. See, with Easter, Easter is a celebration of, this is an interesting concept. It's a celebration of the betrayal, the crucifixion, and the resurrection of that same personage, Yeshua Messiah. And again, it's big business. Now, what do I mean by that? In 2021, for Easter, in the United States, $14.7 billion was spent on the Easter celebration here in the United States. But wait, there's more. For Christmas in 2021, $721 billion was spent for Christmas holiday and the celebration, right? So yes, it is a religious holiday, but it is also big business. But I want to, and the reason why I bring this up is because sometimes we lose what the meaning of Christmas truly is. We lose what the teaching is all about. Now, most of us would tend to think that it is about celebrating the birth of this personality named Jesus, Christ, Yeshua, Messiah, and, away in the manger and all of that. And that's a beautiful story, but that's not really the purpose of the story. You want to remember that all of the stories within the Bible, most of them are allegories. Most of them, I think, is like 75 to 80% of the stories. The people talk about, that it came to me in a vision. It came to me in a dream, right? So 75% of the New Testament, actually the Bible, comes from vision, comes from dreams. In fact, when we talk about the birth of Yeshua, the angel came to Mary in a dream to tell her this is what's going to happen, right? And we want to remember that those stories, particularly this story, it's not only about Yeshua Messiah. The Christmas story, the birth of the Christ, is about you and I. It's about you and I allowing ourselves to go into our manger, right? And getting still and getting quiet and allowing that Christ presence within us to be birthed through us and as us. Now, I know there might be a couple of you out there going, Eugene, you are out of your mind. That's blasphemy. Okay, if that's what one thinks, that's okay. But the truth is, because Yeshua Messiah, as we read on through the New Testament, he says the same thing, that this is about you. One of the things that we want to be sure about is that Yeshua himself, especially in the four Gospels, right? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, he never talked about himself. He never said that it was him. He always pointed, always directed, always looked at it, always gave thanks for and to God, the infinite intelligence that governs the universe, right? For example, the young rich merchant went to Yeshua Messiah and says, "Oh, good master, good rabbi, how can I attain the kingdom of heaven?" And the first answer, the first words out of Yeshua's mouth, as it is written, is this: "Why do you call me good? There's only one that's good, and that's the Father in heaven that is good." So he never took it upon himself. He never put that on himself. In fact, he would say that the words that I speak, they are not my words, right? Again, it's all about God. The works that I do, they're not my works. When you see me, you see, and this is how he put it, when you see me, you see the Father that has sent me, right? You see the presence that has sent me. So let me go back to Christmas and the birthing of the Christ. It's all about you and I stepping into the willingness to allow that Christ consciousness that's within us to come out, to be birthed. See, because this is the gift of the world. This is the gift of community. You're coming out as the Christ. You're allowing your Christ consciousness to be birthed through you and as you and to show up is what the gift is. So then the question is for yourself and for myself. So what do we mean by the Christ? Right? What do we mean by the Christ? So that's an invitation for you to really go into that inner space, that inner sanctum, to ask that with that which is within you, what does that mean for you? Right? Christ comes from the word Christos, the Greek, Christos, which is also derived from the word Messiah, right? Christ means Messiah, and which is a messenger of God. And so one of the things that we want to realize that we have been Christed, that we have been given this beautiful gift of consciousness, that we are to go within ourselves to bring up this consciousness of love, this consciousness of peace, this consciousness of grace. We look at the 23rd Psalm, beautiful Psalm, right? The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, right? And we keep going through that verse. And then it says that thou anointest my head with oil. Another definition of Messiah and another definition of Christ is one who is anointed. So in the 23rd Psalm, we are told that we have been anointed. Thou anointest my head with oil. So we are already been given the permission, right? The directive to show up as the anointed one. Now, the religion of Christianity has been taught in such a way that we seem to be separate from our Christedness, right? Because there's only one, right? And when we even talk about being perfect, right? Well, no, Eugene, there's only one that was perfect, and that was Yeshua Messiah. But I go, wait a minute. It's written that he said, be ye therefore perfect as the Father in heaven is perfect. So again, he is that character in the story is instructing us to take on our perfection. So this Christmas and every Christmas is about allowing ourselves to touch that consciousness within us and allow ourselves to live from that consciousness. So let's talk about what Christ consciousness is. And as I said before, go within your own selves and find out from that knower that is within you. In your spiritual practice, in your meditation, sit and ask the question, what does Christ mean to me? And then be willing to let go of all of the preconceived ideas, and all of these ideas and what we grew up hearing, and how what they taught us, that he was, Jesus is the only one, so forth and so on. That's not the truth of it at all, as he had taught, right? Because my paraphrasing of this verse is, why are you wondering? I used to say, why are you tripping? Right? Why are you tripping off of the things that I do? Says Yeshua. You can do these things, and some greater things than these shall you do. See, we are to take on, we are to dive in, we are to embody that we are the Christ. Another name for Christ. Another definition, another interpretation is love, right? That we are love. That we are that love of God that changes everything. That we are the way through which this loving presence shows up. See, Jesus Christ. So Christ was not the last name, right? It's a state of consciousness. Right. And in this state of consciousness, when we look at Yeshua Messiah, that Christ was not the last name, then we also want to really get into the knowing that he was not the exception. This character was not the exception. He was the example. Greater things than these shall ye do. He was the exception. So, the example of what we are to do and who we are to be. So when we look at this character's life, we find that he was one who was comfortable around all folks, be it the Jewish scholars in the temple, be it with the people that were on the streets, the beggars, the sick and the lame, right? So he was able to navigate in life all over the place. When we allow ourselves to come from that place of love, we will find that we too are able to navigate in every aspect of life, be it with people, politicians, be it with people who are wealthy, be it people who seem to have the experience of lack and limitation sleeping on the streets. It has been said that Mother Teresa was asked how she could do the work that she did. And her response was, I choose to see my beloved Jesus in every one of them. So she's choosing to see the beloved Christ in everyone. So that's how she served. She was serving the Christ in them. But see, one of the things that we also want to remember is for us to recognize the Christ or the love or the spirit or the God within someone else. Well, we have to know it within ourselves first, right? Which is what the definition of recognize is. Recognition, to recognize. To recognize means that we must have known this person or this activity at some other time before now in order for me to recognize it, right? So in order for Mother Teresa to see the Christ in everyone that she served throughout her life, well, she had to first of all recognize it within her and then be willing to serve from that space, serving that beloved community. So on this Christmas day, the invitation is for us to be willing. Oh man, thank you, Spirit, to be willing to be Christ. So here's my question to you. Are you willing to be Christ? Are you willing to be love? Are you willing to forgive? One of the disciples went to the master teacher and said, Rabbi, are we to forgive 7 times? And the master teacher, Yeshua Messiah, says, you are to forgive 70 times 7 times 7, which is the Aramaic way of saying that you keep forgiving and you keep forgiving and you keep forgiving. So are we willing to be the Messiah? Are we willing to be the Christ enough to forgive whenever and whoever is to be forgiven? Are we willing to go there? Are we willing to step into this power, into this presence, to the point that we can say, I forgive you? And be willing to say, I am so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm sorry that I hurt you. Please forgive me. Are we willing to step into and then step from that power? Then are we willing to forgive ourselves? See, in order for me to really love, in order for me to show up and to shine as the brilliant light of the divine that I know that I am, sometimes I forget, but then I remember. But in order for me to be willing to shine, then I really have to be willing to let go of any and everything that would have me turn my light down. I have to be willing to release and to let go and to surrender everything that would keep me from forgiving, right? Because forgiving or lack of forgiveness is really hanging on to past hurts and resentments. So when I don't forgive somebody for something that they may have done or said, first of all, it's in the past. Even if it was just this morning, it's still in the past. But usually we hang on to stuff that has happened last week, last month, last year, 3 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, because we are not willing to live from that consciousness of love, that consciousness of the Christ, enough to forgive. Forgiveness doesn't say that what happened was okay. Forgiveness doesn't say that I let the person off the hook. What forgiveness does is it frees us up from the emotions and that emotional weight of the past hurts and resentments. It's been said that lack of forgiveness is like taking poison and hoping the other person dies. Man. So what we want to do as the Christ, because we're allowing ourselves today to allow that within us to be birthed, right? What we are doing, what we are wanting to do today is to be willing to forgive. So I'm giving you some homework. I'm giving you an assignment. You know, your mission, if you so choose, mission impossible, is to pick one person or one situation from your past that you have not yet forgiven. And be willing, just be willing to forgive that. Now, I'm not saying to forgive it. I'm saying to be willing to forgive it, because sometimes we don't want to free ourselves up, which is crazy thinking, right? We don't want to be free. So we would rather hang on to the resentment and to the pisosity and to being hurt rather than to be free, so that we can fly, so that we can shine. Love cover me, right? So be willing to forgive. Then along with that same assignment, within that same assignment, is be willing to forgive yourself. You see, when we are not willing to forgive ourselves, we walk around with so much weight and so much burden. You know, it doesn't appear like that. Other people may see us smiling. Other people may witness us having a great time. But we know that within us, because it comes up, that sometimes when I think about that person, man, I just get upset. I get pissed off. I get mad. I get angry. But then, you know, let me put on a smiling face and pretend like I'm really, truly, authentically happy. Well, the way for us to really, truly be authentically happy is to let go of the thoughts of anger and resentment and hurt. And the way to do that is to forgive. Forgive 70 times 7 times 7. See, this is being the Christ. Now, when we talk about opening up the gifts of community, I love this. Talk about opening up the gifts of community and then opening up to the gifts of community. What we're really talking about is being the gift of love. I used to say that, you know, we wake up in the morning as just like, you know, kids on Christmas morning, you know, and it's just, we just in this joy and in this wonderment going, God, I wonder what gifts I get to open up today and make every day like that. Right. I used to say that, which, and I still do. It's like, oh, what gifts can I see today? What gifts can I open up today? But let's take it a little further. What gifts can I give today? Oh, how may I serve today? What gifts can I give today? Even if it's the gift of a smile to someone that you've never met before. What a gift. What a gift. So the disciples, remember, the stories in the Bible are really about us, right? So check this out. The disciples, no. One of the Pharisees goes to Yeshua Messiah, because they're trying to find out, how can we get rid of this dude, because he's really messing up the flow of our money here. He's messing up the flow of how we have been doing things. So we got to find ways to get rid of him. But that's a story for another time. But they ask the question. So, Rabbi, what is the greatest commandment? And this is what I want to talk about for the next few minutes, because this is important. What is the greatest commandment? And you've heard me talk about this before. You may have heard me talk about this before. And he says, there are 2 commandments. And the first commandment is to love the Lord thy God. Now call God whatever you want, universal intelligence, infinite infinite wisdom, call it whatever you want to call it, whatever works for you. The verse goes, love the Lord thy God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, and with all your might. In other words, love God with everything that we have. Everything. With everything that we have. Now, what is God? God is life, right? God is all that there is. So love everything with everything that you have, right? So you love making coffee, right? Or you like coffee, love making it with everything that you have, right? So you love your spouse, your family, love, because when we say that God is all that there is, well, then God is in the making of the coffee. God is in that spouse. God is in your loved ones. So we are loving God with all of our heart, our soul, our mind, and our might. We are loving life with everything that we have, right? That's the first commandment. And I love how this is written. And the second commandment is like the first. The second commandment is like unto the first, which means that the second commandment is just as important. It's just the same. And that is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. So this is what it means to be the Christ, is to be the love, right? To love your neighbor as you love yourself. Now, your neighbor is not necessarily the person who lives next door to you or around the corner from you, across the street from you. That neighbor could be the person who pushes that button. In fact, that's who we are to love. That neighbor could be that person that would get on the last nerve. Now, why we wait until the last nerve, I never did understand that. We want to love them before they get into the last nerve. But the truth of the matter is that we are to love them as we love ourselves. Now, let me talk about that just a bit. As we love ourselves. In other words, let me love that person the same way that I love me. Oh, wait a minute. How do I love me? Do I love myself? Oh, man. So if I love myself, if I truly loved myself, then I would forgive myself. Uh-oh. See, because when we forgive ourselves, self-forgiveness is an act of self-love, right? So looking at the example of Yeshua Messiah, we have in this example everything that we need. Everything that we need, right? Because we are who we've been waiting for. We are the Christ, right? And every morning, every day, every morning is a new opportunity to allow that which is within us to be birthed through us and as us, allowing God to show up as us. And then we can say, when you see me, we can say with Yeshua Messiah, when you see me, you see the presence that has sent me. So yeah, today is a day of joy and celebration, because today we are allowing the Christ within us to be born. Today we are allowing ourselves to shine. Today we are allowing ourselves to be the love intelligence that governs the universe. Yeshua Messiah always gave thanks to God first. Thank you, Father, Mother God. Thank you, Presence, for hearing my prayer, for you always hear my prayer. So to conclude what really cannot be concluded, take the opportunity today, steal away just for a minute or two or three, away from the celebration. Go take a seat, have a seat, and sit with yourself. And give thanks for the willingness to allow that love intelligence to be born through you. And as we do this every day, and we start to see that the gifts of the community are open to us. As we do this every day, we start to see that every day is Christmas. Every day is an opportunity to shine. Every day is an opportunity to love. Every day is an opportunity to forgive. Every day is a day of celebration. Then we open to community. Imagine if everybody in our community began to look at each other as the beloved. Man, what a day, what a day, what a life. I love you. I am so grateful to be here with you. And so it is. Peace and blessings.
And so it is. Peace and blessings to you, Eugene. Thank you for that amazing and inspiring talk. Lots of great nuggets in there. I'm going to have to go back and listen to that again to take everything out. But what a beautiful time together. Thank you. And please join us next week. Happy New Year as Eugene Holden comes back once to kick off the month and the new year with his talk, Getting Back to Basics. Every year we start out in January with the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind, and Eugene will provide an overview of the Science of Mind and Spirit philosophy, setting us up for the entire conversation for the whole month. So excited for that. And our guest musician next week will be the incomparable and amazing Amy Steinberg. And it is now once again my pleasure to bring back our amazing Jamie Hudson Craig for more music for the soul.
This song is called Reveal, and it was a gift to me from the universe during a prayer time, and it is about community and just being able to be ourselves with each other. And that is a very special gift to give each other and the world. Reveal yourself and I will see God incarnate in the tree, in the ocean, in the sea, in the light of you and me. And I will dance and be still. I'll expand and be filled. Taste and touch. Nothing's lost as you reveal yourself to us. Reveal yourself, don't be afraid. Reveal yourself in what you lay down at the feet of the one, and how you reach for the sun. Reveal yourself, don't hide away. Love will always find a way through the deepest, darkest night. Reveal yourself in the light, and you will dance and be still. You'll expand here and bear no shame. I will proclaim in small ways, we are united always. I will proclaim in small ways, we are united always. I will proclaim in small ways, we are united in all ways. And we will dance and be still. We'll expand and be filled. Glory streams from on high as we reveal we can fly.
Wow. Thank you, Jamie. No words for that beautiful, fabulous song. We so appreciate your gifts and talents. Be sure to check out Jamie's website at jamiehudson.net to learn more about her music and her passions and to download some more of that fabulous music that you just heard. Well, we have just received, and now we can consciously give back. I invite you to invoke feelings of love and gratitude and abundance and allow them to fill you and the space around you. Whew. Let us use the power of our word by speaking our prosperity affirmation together. I know that the infinite abundance of the universe is blessing and expanding my offering and all the offerings we receive for the good of all. And so it is. We offer easy ways to donate your offering. You can make a one-time or recurring donation through our website at columbiacsl.com, or you can text your donation to 410-498-6175. And we know that as we give, we receive, and do so in great gratitude. That's the law of circulation. So please join me as we bless every gift bestowed upon Columbia CSL. Together, we receive these gifts knowing that they nurture and support our vision of creating a world that for everyone. And so it is. We appreciate every contribution. Your support ensures that we remain a vital and thriving center for everyone's spiritual nourishment. And on behalf of our entire community, we thank you for being part of our spiritual family and celebration today. We look forward to seeing you again next week, virtually online. At the end of this service, remember to stay for our announcement slides so that you can be informed and up to date on what's coming up in our community. But just as a quick reminder, we do want to let you know that our annual meeting will be on Sunday, January the 29th after service. That is a virtual service and will also be a virtual meeting, so just so that you know. So if you're interested in joining us, you can log onto the calendar and sign up for that link. Also, if you are feeling called to serve this community in any capacity, especially by joining the Board of Trustees, please reach out to me directly, and that's Julia at columbiacsl.com. Wow, what a service, what a service, what a service. Merry Christmas to all, and it is now my pleasure to bring back Eugene to close out our with an amazing affirmation for the week. Eugene?
Thank you, Julia. All right, affirmation for the week. So affirm with me, not with me because you don't know it yet, but here is the affirmation. I am open, receptive, and available to be the gifts that I share with my community. Now together, I am open, receptive, and available to share my gifts with the community. Peace and abundant blessings.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and